Hey there everyone, and welcome to this impromptu Wednesday edition of the Whitfield Report. I am your host, Sam Whitfield, broadcasting here live from NGC Studios here on Wednesday evening, March 18th, 2020. And I hope you all are doing well tonight. This is going to be a real impromptu stream, but I have a couple things that I wanted to talk about with you tonight, and I want to give a couple quick updates, so I will do that. Contact info as usual though. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram as always, at SamWR_NGC. You can also follow the Whitfield Report on Twitter at Whitfield Report. Follow me on Gab and Minds and Parler at Sam Whitfield. Facebook.com/Whitfield Report. TheSamWhitfield.com is my website. I'm going to try and get a few articles up there. As always, streamlabs.com/The Whitfield Report if you'd like to donate and contribute. And yeah, as always, hit that like button. And, thanks for supporting the show. I will be sharing the link around in a couple of Discords for the show. In fact, let me go ahead and do that right now. We have some people filtering in. Hello to Linda in the chat. So, anyway, folks, tonight's stream is Impromptu 2. Also, hello to Blaze Dust Dreamer. But anyway, as I was saying, tonight's stream is kind of impromptu. I just decided to fire up the, computer. Although it kind of was fired up, but, fire up the streaming software and get down to it. Folks, I'm not really going to talk about the coronavirus because it is nonstop 24/7. In fact, what I'm here to basically tell you guys, I will cut to the chase as to what my point is. My point to you guys and gals watching and listening to this podcast is to basically take a break from the news. And don't worry. And try and stay optimistic. Now, this is something I've been saying for a while, since the coronavirus all started. Or since it became a story, more or less. And people have kind of misinterpreted what I've said about the coronavirus. So let me get a few things straight. First off, it definitely exists. And it definitely is a danger to some people. So I'm not going to go down the Owen Benjamin rabbit hole of it's not real, right? At the same time, we're not all going to die either. Unfortunately, we've already lost some to the virus. We've lost 8,000 total, which is unfortunate. But I think what's more dangerous is the panic that has set in. I understand, the whole quarantine thing of wanting to prevent the virus from spreading. I get that to a certain degree, but there are people locking themselves in their homes, some out of fear, some out of boredom. Which, if you're in a state where it's like still snowy winter, I don't blame you. I mean, most people, if they didn't have to work anyway, would be locking themselves indoors in some of those snowy states, right? Because the weather is terrible and shitty out there. So that's one thing. But I'm not. I actually was a bit of a rebel today, and I decided to go outside for 3 hours because it's 87 degrees out here in Florida. I know, some of you winter folks are, probably already saying, fuck you! So how dare you brag out your 87 degree weather and your lollipops and fancy pants and all that. How dare you? I'm not doing a very good Greta impression, but anyway. All joking aside, though, coronavirus is definitely something that we should take precautions towards, right? Wash your damn hands, people. And this is something that I've actually been trying to do more often, is to wash my hands and, I'm not like a terribly unsanitary person, but I actually have been going through alcohol wipes a lot more to disinfect my computer and to disinfect my phone. I just take precautions. That's the best thing you can do. Uh, but at the same time, don't let the fear cripple you to the extent where you don't want to go outside, and you know don't don't become a hermit, because we've seen what hermits do when they're alone and isolated from society. Um, so yeah, just I think there is a way, folks, that you can, believe it or not, folks, I believe that there is a world where you can be cautious and take precautions and be careful and prepared and stay optimistic and keep your mindset rational, right? I think that those two things are both completely possible. Um, so, yeah, folks, wash your damn hands. And to you degenerates out there, wash your damn, well, you know what. I don't have to say, or I shouldn't have to say. Um, I mean, if you have, if you're already sick, if you're already susceptible to that, to this sort of thing, then obviously you need to take extra precautions. But there is like a certain part of me where I don't understand necessarily why they want gatherings of 10 or well, I mean, actually, I guess I do, but it does seem a little obsessive if it's a gathering of really people under 70 that are getting together. Also, uh, while I understand the need for stocking up on toilet paper, my God, people are hoarding it like it's um, like we're in front of a toilet paper crisis. If folks, you do run out of toilet paper, and folks, for those who are living in New York City or in Los Angeles, I have a perfect substitute for you guys. Take a quarter. Go to your nearest newspaper stand if they still have those where you live. Open the thing and get as many copies of the Los Angeles Times or the New York Times, preferably both if you can, and just stock up on those and use those as toilet paper if you need to. You can also try and find discarded, Hillary for President posters or bumper stickers or what have you, and you use those as toilet paper as well. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, Sam, that's horrible that you would recommend, using Hillary in the new, meh. Maybe, desperate times call for desperate measures. What can I say? Um, So, anyway. So what in the chat says, people are herd animals. They see people hoarding and they hoard up too. Oh yeah, and the Washington Post too. Um, yep. Um, let's see. Oh, and on another serious note, I do have to thank people. People have been DMing me on Twitter a lot and or tweeting at me and checking to make sure I'm okay and I am, folks. And I get this question a lot. Am I more susceptible because of cerebral palsy? The answer is no. Um, I'm not susceptible to coronavirus because of cerebral palsy. I know some people are, but that's usually because they have like other complications or conditions as well. Um, but yeah, no. I mean, the thing it is like I'm very high functioning. I basically I can't walk very well, but that's about it. Um, Other than that, like I'm fine. In fact, like I seem to be faring better than a lot of other people just by the fact that like I'm trying to keep an optimistic head about myself. So um, now another interesting thing about this corona virus that I've noticed, not necessarily with the virus itself, I'm talking about the whole crisis situation here. I'll tell you what is going to harm us, folks. It's not the virus itself, it's this mass hysteria that's going to harm us. The panic and hysteria over the coronavirus is actually worse than the coronavirus, and it's already damaging people. I mean, people are already having to take time off work. Certain companies are saying that they're going to be closed indefinitely. That means that people are going to be out of work for a while. Schools are closed indefinitely, colleges and universities. So, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I am happy about my spring break. Technically being extended a whole lot longer. And yes, I know that some classes are going to be held online. But the ones at my school, a lot of them already are held online, and the ones that aren't are held in person for a reason. Um, so I don't know how that's going to go. I'm glad that some team projects of mine have been canceled. And it's not because I don't like people. I love people. I just don't like group projects very much. So, fingers crossed that will, that they'll either cancel or find like some other way to do it way easier. Um, Now that I'm pretty much like home, word, uh, I'm going to try and do the show daily for the next couple weeks if I can. And I'm serious about it. Maybe not daily, but certainly maybe like an extra 2 or 3 shows a week. I don't know. Um, because I can right now. And you guys are a somewhat captive audience. There's nothing else on. Uh, I mean, this is a great time for podcasters, but we're the ones keeping you guys entertained out there. Um, so I'm looking into topics to cover. I would like to review movies on this channel, as I've said before, but YouTube, they like to copyright claim everything, even if it's within fair use. So I have no idea what I want to do. I do want to cover disaster movies, actually, folks, because I think that would be very, in good with the timing. But I am going to be having some guests on as well in the coming days. And I'll be going on a couple other shows myself. Also, uh, actually, hold on, folks. Let me check on this real quick. Uh, so I'll check on one thing and I'll tell you about another thing. Next week, very important announcement. A week from today is going to be my 13th anniversary of podcasting, ladies and gentlemen. March 25th, 2008 was the first time I podcasted. I was just, I was just 13 or 14 years old at the time. And so I started doing a podcast, and, it turned out pretty good. So I got hooked on it, and I've been doing it ever since, and the show has obviously evolved from the Whitfield Nation to the Whitfield Analysis to now the Whitfield Report, and I've gone from being unknown to, I'm not Joe Rogan, but I think I've carved out a pretty nice niche for myself, and I'm still growing, bigly. And the show is still going strong, and we're going to keep growing strong. So Wednesday, I'm going to have a special episode of the Whitfield Report live. Probably do like a 2 or, maybe even like a 3-hour stream celebrating. Hopefully we can get some, friends of the show and guests. So yeah, be sure to tune in for that. And I will announce the time of that. I usually would do it later in the evening around 10, but with everyone being stuck at home and at my mercy, we may start earlier. So anyway, so that's one announcement. Another announcement, for those of you guys who asked, I do have a Patreon account. I am currently in the midst of revamping that, and that's gonna help out a bunch. A couple of you guys have asked if I have a Patreon, and I do, and it still hasn't been running, but I need to revamp a bit and whatnot, because I started it when I didn't have a very large base. A couple of you guys have asked about it and said that you guys would be willing to contribute, so I'm revamping some of the tiers a bit, and we're gonna do it that way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep like the main show free, right? I don't know if I'm going to do like bonus episodes, like every single week. But I do have a few shows like locked away in the vault that I kind of want to repost. And then I have like some special episodes that are like more narrative based as opposed to current events, kind of like mini audio documentaries that would be much better suited for Patreon stuff, just because of YouTube and iTunes, and there's some stuff I can do behind a paywall that I can't necessarily do on YouTube, and none of it's dirty, you perverts, but some of it is some of it is content related, and yeah, so I'll just put it at that. And plus it'll give me a way to interact with patrons in a better way. So, yeah, I'm excited to be launching the Patreon account, or relaunching it in April, and more details on that. So, what else? What if anyone in the chat wants to chime in? I'm curious. How have you guys been occupying your time? I know that you guys have been twiddling your thumbs, somewhat, wanting, hoping that I'll do more shows, and you've got that now. So, but, I hope you guys are all doing well, and, I appreciate you guys tuning in and Impromptu. So, okay, if I can find. Okay, let me hold on a sec here, folks. Let me just see about this. I may be able to announce something, but I might not be able to. So I'm just checking. So, all right. Let's see. Yeah, thanks. So what? I'm grateful for the. I'm grateful to be able to stream, right now. So. Hopefully, hopefully I'll be able to keep streaming. That is one fear I have, is that like YouTube is gonna like shut down streaming for a while because of misinformation. That is the one big fear that not like a big fear, but the one thing that has crossed my mind with all of this corona, virus stuff, is that, this is like a social engineering exercise, to try and like get people panicked and whatnot. So, but I hopefully I'm wrong on that. I really do. So, let's see. We've been going strong for 30 minutes. Share this stream around if you guys like this. I know I'm kind of ad-libbing right now. This is what happens when you just fire up a stream with nothing really prepared. I don't have any notes whatsoever. Like I said, I haven't really been paying attention to the news lately, just because there's no reason. Let's see. Let's see. Sam, if they do it, you could stream on D Live, VK, Switch, Twitch, Joshu. Yeah. So I've tried to. I've been trying to mess around with D Live. That is one thing I want to bring up, guys. A lot of you guys have been mentioning the fact, Sam, you need to stream to D Live. Sam, you need to stream to D Live. Folks, I've got it. I don't have anything against D Live, but my Restream account is acting up right now. I have no idea what's going on. Ecamm Live, the software I use to broadcast, is not. It works with Twitch, Periscope, YouTube, and then one other. Oh, and Facebook Live, and Restream. If I want to stream to like a custom server, I have to pay a subscription on top of what I already paid for. And like I paid $40 for the app, so which I don't mind paying. OBS on the Mac is not. It's, to be honest, and I know I'm getting behind the scenes here, folks, but it's not the best. So Ecamm works better. But I'm just being honest with you guys. Restream is like the only way I can do D Live, but D Live, Restream isn't really wanting to work right now. So, I will be getting on D Live at some point and hopefully using Restream to broadcast to Periscope, YouTube, D Live, and all those other places because I do want to do that. And hopefully, once Patreon gets going, that will help a lot more. Don't worry, guys. We're still building up the show. It's going to be good. Or it's going to get even better, I should say. It's pretty good already, if I do say so myself. But it's going to get even better. And okay, I just got the go ahead. Also, ladies and gentlemen, the DZ, the Danger Zone streams are returning tonight around 10 p.m. actually. Yes, the Danger Zone is coming back with Danger Zone Worldwide. The Ultimate Group podcast is coming back tonight. Danger Zone Worldwide. So that will be exciting. It's been a long time since we've podcasted. And I want you guys to know, folks, that we actually do talk about stuff other than Owen Benjamin. Yes, he kind of was the catalyst that brought us together, but we all used to hang out and just talk with each other about anything and everything that we could think of. Like, before the gummy stuff happened, we never used to talk about Owen. We would always do our own thing. In fact, like, that was part of the problem. That was one of the problems, was like, a couple people thought we should, they thought that because we all formed around Owen that, we should kind of make it about Owen, and, that wasn't what led to the breakup, obviously. We've covered that so much that it's not worth mentioning. But, needless to say, there were people that were, I think, upset because the DZ was kind of more or less cooler cooler than Owen in his inner circle. So we'll be back tonight around I think 10. I don't know that for sure. And what are we gonna talk about? I have no idea yet. So, yeah. Blaze says been listening to Hangouts on your old videos and like them. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much going to be the format. Anything and everything will happen. Hopefully it'll be all good. But I'm excited, and everyone else is excited. And I want to make something else, clear. Like, this is not just my, baby. Even though I am one of the founding members of the Danger Zone, this is a group effort too. So, everyone's going to be jumping in on this. I will say this, though, for those of you who are interested, because I know that there is a segment of my audience that has questions about this, and I will, for any of the fellow DZ members that are watching, yes, the streams will be in podcast format as well. So for those of you guys who like, to listen to podcasts on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, I already have a podcast set up. It's not published yet because there aren't any episodes, and you can't publish you can't publish a podcast feed without any episodes. But for those people who are already streaming podcast, don't worry. Savage Sammy already has you covered on that. Not sure if I'm going to monetize this one. Probably won't. Because the Whitfield report is already kind of my, go-to for that. Also, I don't have any sponsors for the podcast yet for the Whitfield report. Well, we have the one sponsor. I'm looking at other sponsors right now. I've been talking to a few potentials out there that are interested, but because of COVID and coronavirus, even like the small kind of content creators and the smaller businesses that I'm looking at, they're actually kind of on quarantine hiatus right now too. So this thing is affecting all of us in different ways. But anyway, yeah, I'm very excited. So yeah. Let's see. Blaze says they were mad that you talked to each other. No, it wasn't so much that they were mad that we talked to each other, but there were a couple of times, and I've talked about this in previous streams, where basically we would do 8-hour streams. Basically, let me post this question by Blaze here. She asked an awesome question. So Blaze asked, they were mad that you talked to each other. The Bears are such a cult. It wasn't so much that they were mad that we talked to each other. The way the old streams used to work was that we would basically get together and talk with each other for hours and hours on end. I mean, and when I say hours and hours, basically how the DZ would work, and I'm not sure we're going to be able to do this because technically we no longer have Google Hangouts. We have something else. I'm not sure if it is going to have the same feature set as Google Hangouts. In some ways, it is better, but in terms of like back in the heyday when Google Hangouts on Air was a thing, Google would allow channels to stream up for up to 8 hours. So in the early days, someone would start a stream like in the morning, and you know, there would be like a group of people that would filter in, you know, and like start off, and then they'd filter out, and then people would just come in and chat like throughout the day. I would come in and, you know, like talk to Johnny, you know, or whoever, like during my you know, lunch break or whatever, during my off periods when I was at my other school at State College. And you know, I'd get home, I'd kind of host like a roundtable segment for a while. You know, obviously the DZ were let me start the Whitfield Report channel. Like I had the podcast for years, but but you know, like they would send you know, people over to my channel, to this channel. They would send people over to you know, Nearai's channel. You know, Nearai in the morning, he did an excellent stream. So, you know, basically we built a community. And the reason why the Bears got mad was because anytime Owen would go live, there were a certain amount of people. There were certain people that would come in to our chats on the DZ and say stuff like, "Hey, Owen is live. You know, you need to shut it down and like come watch Owen," or something like that. The Bears would try and do this for the Whitfield Report too. Like, I'd be streaming on it Saturday night as usual, and the Bears would say something like, "Hey, Owen's live," and you know, my approach was, if you want to go watch Owen, great, cool, he's a good guy. This was at the time, ladies and gentlemen, too. I was kind of like, cool, Owen's live. If you guys want to watch him, you know, go ahead. If not, stick around and, you know, watch me or watch the Danger Zone or whoever it was. More often than not, people stuck around, and there were some Bears that were not too happy about that. And while that wasn't the catalyst of everything, you know, people were not happy about that. So, you know, that should have been a sign early in the day. But, you know, it is what it is. So, anyway, I know that's kind of a long-winded explanation of the question, but, yeah. But anyway, we're just going to have fun and do our own thing on the streams. I don't know how consistent we're going to be, but I mean, hell, we're all quarantined for the next couple weeks, hopefully. Hopefully it's only a couple more weeks and not a couple months, because I can only go to the liquor store so many times. Also, if I may rant for a bit, I was one sad half Irishman yesterday, folks. Yesterday was my ethnic holiday. Right? You see the indigenous people getting upset, you know, with Columbus Day and whatnot, but as a half Irish American, as someone who's half Irish descent and half Italian descent, I was outraged that coronavirus canceled my holiday. None of my favorite Irish pub yesterday was closed. And yes, folks, the good news was I still got my Guinness, which is my favorite beer anyway. So I drink Guinness year round. It's not just a St. Patty's Day thing. However, I did not get my corned beef yesterday. I didn't get my Reuben yesterday, so I'm not happy. I did end up having a nice steak that was in the freezer. So I guess that was, it wasn't bad, and it was actually pretty good. But yeah, yesterday St. Patrick's Day did not feel like St. Patrick's Day at all. So I'm a bit bummed out about that. Yeah, Blaze actually has a good point. Yeah, I was actually drinking yesterday because there was no St. Patrick's Day celebration. So, Szechuan wants to know, what is my drink of choice, Whitfield? Well, I have two. Really, my go-to, I'm not much of a liquor guy. My go-to is always beer. Always. Hold on a sec. Folks, I'm getting a message real quick. Oh. Hang on. This is actually funny, folks. I'm having to explain a meme to my mother. Specifically though, folks, Guinness is my beer of choice. I've loved Guinness for years, or at least since I've been legal to drink. But in more recent years, folks, I've actually gotten into bourbon a bit. So I like bourbon. Let's see. So, yeah. Let's see. Saying beer is like saying that you like food. Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. Also, folks, I am multitasking here, so I'm actually, yeah. Specific beer, Sam, saying beer is saying you like food. Yeah, so I like, I love Guinness, and I'm not gonna lie, too, I like Yingling, too. As far as bourbons go, I like Wild Rose bourbon. I actually haven't had Jameson's. I was going to try and get some Jameson's yesterday, but the liquor store I was at actually ran out of them. I guess all the depressed coronavirus people had already hoarded the Jameson's. So there's that. But, yeah. Nothing wrong with bourbon and Sundrop. I like elephant beer. Now the one drink I do not like, ladies and gentlemen, is White Claw. I do not like White Claw, Andrew Forgetta. I know that you listen to this podcast. You might not watch it, but I know that you listen. So I do not like White Claw. Part of that is because Owen ruined White Claw for me. But also, it's seltzer water, folks. It's spiked seltzer water, and seltzer water is, yeah. So yeah. But yeah. You like elephant beer? It's Danish. That sounds fascinating. Bourbon and club soda is the jam. White Claw is gay. Yeah, well, I mean, Shishman, shouldn't that tell you something, though, about certain people? And for those of you listening on the podcast who are like, oh, you talk about it's Owen, you always make Owen references. Folks, Owen is part of the lore of the Whitfield Report at this point, and so I can't not make jokes. It's just something at this point. I usually mix mine with turpentine. I mean, in all seriousness, speaking of turpentine, the one spirit I've never understood, and maybe it's because I'm not Russian. Yes, I'm going to go there. But if you want to drink turpentine, why don't you just drink vodka? To me, it kind of seems like it would taste the same. And, vodka will basically kill anything. And I'm not kidding. One time when I was at Boy Scout camp, as a kid, like I'd slam my arm on like a rock or something, not on purpose, but I can't remember. But anyway, basically, like I had scraped my arm up like real bad or something, and one of the dads, I kid you not, pulled out a thing of vodka and used it as an antiseptic to clean like dirt out of my cut or whatever. So yeah, my experience with vodka and Russian women for that matter has not always have not been necessarily always been pleasant. So kidding, Russian women, don't murder me. So yeah. So just saying goes. I was kidding. So yeah, but no. In all seriousness, turpentine and vodka do kind of seem to be the same. So yeah, folks, this is what you get when you bring up turpentine. The memes just they start for me. So. What else? Like I said, I'll be having guests on. Looking at booking a couple guests, but I don't want to reveal who yet. So that will be announced. And yes, folks, I am going to get a new intro as well. I'm going to get a proper intro. I'm making myself one actually in Final Cut Pro. Like I'm editing old footage and making an intro. I think it's pretty cool so far. But I will have that. I'll probably have that done either tonight or maybe even. Well, I'm not gonna say tomorrow. By Friday, though, I will have a new like official title intro. Because like the rotating circle, folks, that's just like a stream warming up thing. So that's like my equivalent of the stream starting soon, but that's not the actual title sequence. But anyway, folks. Let's see. What else? What else? Anything on? Is there anything on YouTube I can play? Let me look. Look here. I'm trying to find something. I'm trying to see if there's anything Corona related specifically that I can play that's kind of funny, but I don't know. At any rate, folks, that'll do it for tonight's Whitfield Report. So I want to thank you guys so very much for tuning into the Impromptu stream. And I will be back later with the rest of the Dangerine crew for the Danger Zone Worldwide stream. Very excited for that coming up later tonight. And I will tweet the link out to that. So once again, follow me on Twitter at @somebody_NGC or any of these other social media platforms. And all the links, if you want to support the show, are in the description as well, folks. So once again, folks, thanks for tuning in. If you caught this live, I really appreciate you all. God bless, and I will be back tomorrow for another live stream. And I might have material by then, folks. So, sit tight, and I will be back tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow on this channel. I'll be back later tonight with the Danger Zone. So until then, folks, God bless, God save this great nation, God, freedom, democracy in that order, and I will see you guys in the Danger Zone. Dang dang.